Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Nice to see you. We
Hello,
got Gary
Michelle.
Spikes. We got Mark
Hello.
there. Tammy
Mr.
Johnson.
Honeycomb.
Gene Hudson.
Hello, Cath.
Let's see.
Hi, Michelle.
And let's see who else is in here. Welcome, everybody, to another Friday edition. Hopefully, we don't start off in the ditch right away. But,
Correct.
Sean, I got my pendulum. I came to realize that the world, ladies and gentlemen, is coming to an end. I just read a news article, hey, Barb, that a guy in Alabama in Bass Pro stripped down naked and jumped into the fish pond. And when he did, he knocked himself out. They had to drag him out because he was going to drown. I mean, that's a family atmosphere. Why would he? I don't know, Brian Barber. I just don't know why people do that. Welcome, Brian, in a Bass Pro, but I have no idea. Hey, Rebecca. Now, I was getting ready to call AAA before the show, but I didn't have enough time, so I'm glad you're here. So, how's everybody doing?
But.
I know, Bass Pro. Why would you do that?
There's nothing that makes sense these days except laughing. That's the fun thing.
Is that the common sense is coming to an end, not actually the world.
Yes, thank good heavens for that.
I have no idea. So that just blew my mind. I thought it was fake news at first, but then I looked at the news source and I was like, no, it's real news.
What country?
United States, Alabama.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Missy Hammer, welcome. Nice to see you. Round of applause, Karen Clayton, everybody. But just unbelievable. So
it is. It's a confusing time for all of us, I think.
Cryptic Cowboy. I wonder how many people filmed it. They had to film it. So I'm waiting for the videos to come out.
But that's like, a person gets smashed up in the surf and nearly carks it, and there's a lady filming it. They drag him out of the water, and she says to the guy who's almost cactus, "Oh, you nearly died just then." And he's going, she filmed the whole thing. No, didn't call an ambulance, nothing.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about orbs, like.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're going to discuss later on. Mark's going to give us an update on
our
world.
Watch this. Watch.
Okay, I have some special effects today.
Hold on. Watch Michelle's face. Hold on. Watch Michelle's face.
Oh, no.
Apple bottom jeans, fur on the boots.
That's me. They're usually in my socks, though. Fur's in my socks. Or I get into your undies.
I got that song stuck in my head. Apple bottom jeans, fur in the boots. She hit the floor. Anyways.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm
a carpenter. And I get sawdust down the underwear all the time.
Okay. Right. Behave, everybody. Today we have the polar bear. White polar bear.
Polar bears are not white.
Well, you know what I mean.
They are. Polar bears are black.
No, Greasy.
Man. We've already got it. It's already ODD already today. Or OCD, is it? Which one is it? Which one are you today?
Polar bears are black. I'm being honest. Polar bears are not white.
Anyway, this other person's interpretation of a polar bear is.
Did you see that comment? Did you see that comment? The guy identified at Bass Pro as a bobber.
What comment?
Good thing I haven't got a jet right now.
A bobber. I don't know what that is.
A fishing bobber. You go fishing with the bobbering. Bobber. Fishing bobber.
Okay.
I know.
I thought that was funny.
You identify as that.
I thought that was a good one.
Michelle, I think we need an arak.
What the hell's that?
It's an Arabic drink. Very nice. Tastes like aniseed. It's beautiful.
Oh, God. Now you're going to talk in another language.
We're not. Okay, we're back to the polar bear. Power, wisdom, and peace, everybody.
Oh.
Peoples considered the polar bear, which they called Nanook, to be powerful and wise. The legend describes a 10-legged polar bear living in the Arctic ice pack who renounced the violence of his 4-legged relatives and attempted to create a community based on peace and love. So I won't expand because I know I'm going to get in trouble.
Well, last show they told us not to flush meth down the commode. Remember?
No.
So, anyways,
I'm still reeling from a couple of those. So, Mr. Honey Shakes, I always call you Honey Cakes. Honey Shakes, may we please have a little update about our current earthquake situation?
There goes the dollar bills, everybody. He's going to start it.
You're lucky I don't have a good fast jet plane.
Michelle's adjusting her camera, so she's getting ready for the angle. So
no, I shut my screen
in
down.
Her lounge,
and I just realised it's not right. Not right. It's not right.
Right.
It's like a review mirror. You get in and someone's changed it, and you think,
that's you know who we're missing in here? We're missing Crystal. I knew we were
Lola
missing somebody.
Pop in soon too.
Anyway,
a friend of mine sent me sorry, honey cakes, won't be a sec. Back to mirrors. A friend of mine sent me a photo of this mirror. His cousin contacted him and said his whole house was shaking and help, what can I do? Anyway, he'd purchased this new mirror. In the mirror, these faces come out of the mirror. I've got a photo of it. It is horrific. Each time you look at it, different faces come through the mirror. Scary. Anyway, back to you, honey shakes.
Okay.
Drop a bomb like that and then you just ping off. What the hell?
Yeah. So the mirror, was it built that way? The mirror, was it manufactured with faces built in, or is this something supernatural?
Supernatural, full on. And the faces change and they come out at different faces, but you'll see one or two, and then the mirror just fills up with all different faces. They're kind of like peeking in. It's really scary.
Wow. So it is possible. I've studied a lot of stuff. I've also studied with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't worry, I'm not going to go down that road, that particular road, but I value the study. And they have a thing about like not trying to buy used items and bringing it into your house unless you kind of ground them out so that there's no energy attached to those items that can come into your home.
Good idea.
Is the mirror brand new or is the mirror used?
Used.
Okay, there you go. So maybe spirits.
Well, a lot of people believe that mirror is also can attach attachments or spirits when they pass and get stuck in there. And like she said, portals for the afterlife, for demonic and evil attachments and so forth. So,
buying antique furniture is fraught with danger. Yes.
Yes. So
this one in particular, I've never seen anything like this.
Wow. Well, filming it would be really, really awesome. And filming it with an all spectrum light camera would be super cool.
It's really freaky. They got rid of it, but I don't know. I didn't delve in. I know. I didn't.
Did they break it? Did they break it, or did they just put it somewhere else?
I didn't delve. I'd had enough by what I'd seen, and I thought, no, that's enough. So I didn't continue.
Can you imagine if you imagine being trapped in a mirror for all eternity because someone broke the mirror?
But not just one. There was heaps of them.
Right? Oh no! No! Oh no! And they're touching me on the head now from upstairs, going, "Yeah, it's pretty bad. No, that's not good. Not good. No."
So that's new to me. The knowledge you can get trapped as a spirit inside of a mirror. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Like mirror, mirror on the wall.
No.
Not me.
No way. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Want me to go into quakes?
Yes, please.
All right. So 2 weeks ago, my quake forecast for San Diego, California, I was looking for something very large, like 6 to 8.1, 6.1 to 8.1. It did not materialize, thankfully. What we did see was a very obvious increase in the number of quakes in the area, and the size increased a little bit. Days after my forecast ended, which was December 26th, that was it. I had 3 weeks. I extended the forecast. With really, really big quakes, you make your forecast bigger, larger area, and longer time. So 3 weeks, that's way out there. Normally we try to keep it to 2 weeks, and I try to keep it to 5 days mostly. So what we did have with that forecast, I had 2 quakes. I said there'd be a big one and a smaller one. And what we just got this last few days was a 4.1 offshore in a sub area. I specifically said Catalina Island, which is almost due east from San Diego, just offshore. I said that's an area I'm watching, and then San Diego. Well, this morning we had a 4.2 strike inland right near LA. no damage. They're small quakes, but there's the 2 quakes I was looking for. So I was wrong on time, location, partly wrong, and size way off. But so that's what we have.
Still.
We had the Japanese quake. We had the big, huge Japanese quake and swarm of quakes afterwards. One person saw that coming, and his name is Luke Holmesquest, and he has a YouTube channel, and he mostly talks about California. And he mostly, not so recently, but a couple of years ago, he was always talking about a big 7.1 is going to hit week after week after week. And then he started getting more tempered, and now he's saying, yeah, maybe a 5.0 is going to hit, and that's more tempered and more realistic. But he did have a very accurate forecast for that area. Everyone else missed it or didn't have one. Even the guy I follow, Dutch Since, he was looking in Tokyo for a large quake. And this happened 200 or 300 miles north of Tokyo. So that's kind of a miss, but not totally a what I call a big nothing miss. Yeah, a nothing miss where nothing happens. That's the worst.
Yeah. I noticed Fiji's popping again. Sorry, Grizzy.
I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Behave.
What do you call a Chinese billionaire? Cha-ching!
Cha-ching!
Oh my goodness.
Very funny. So, so being new to this webcasting and stuff, I haven't got it set up yet, but I do have a copy of my Earthquake 3D open, so I can just show you the quakes. So I'm going to spin my camera around next week and future weeks. I'll be able to sling stuff onto the screen. So, and I may even get, I might even get two big screens set up so that I can swap back and forth between them. And just to quickly show stuff. It makes it way more interesting. So let's see here. So I'll do this. Here's my Earthquake 3D. Let's see if I... Okay, is that centered? Can you guys see this?
Yep. It's a little crooked.
All right.
But I'm pedantic.
A little crooked. Okay, let me shrink this down here.
That's got it. A bit better. Don't worry, I'm just teasing you.
He just knocked himself out. So all right, so here's food for thought. Here's food for thought, right? And I'm being real now.
You're not telling another joke, are you?
If you take a piece of paper and fold it 113 times, it's thicker than the universe. Think about that. That's scientific. Now, if you take A4 paper, it can only be folded no more than 13 times. So somebody said that was incorrect. So they went to debunk this scientific method and said we can fold paper more than 13 times. So they went and got toilet paper, which is paper, 5 kilometers of it. And they're saying we're gonna break it. We can fold it more than 13 times. 5 kilometers. Guess what? They could not fold it more than 13 times.
Mm.
It's impossible.
Why can't you go like dunk, 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 dunk,
Try
dunk, dunk? 5 kilometers of it, surely you're going to get 13 folds.
No more.
Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Try it.
I will. I'm sure you can fold it 13 times.
It's more than 13. It's impossible.
Well, more than.
Any
Try it
Every
with the
time
dummy
you go
roll.
like this, you're folding it.
Try it with the dunny roll, Cath.
No, fold it. Katow. Fold that. Katow. Fold it again. Not roll.
No.
Because you can have 893 sheets on a roll.
Yeah, but you can fold it. It's
So
still
I'm just
paper.
saying.
You're just
Fold it.
saying.
They tried it.
Yeah.
I forgot what university tried it. Yes, it was a university. They're like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, there it is, the dunny roll.
Yeah, that's a roll. That's not folded.
So you got a dunny roll, right? You can fold it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and continue for 5 kilometers. I would love to give that task to somebody to get them away from me for a few hours.
I thought she was asking about women's monthly cycle on a pizza at first in Australia. Man, that threw my mind at first when I first read that. What is she asking?
No
How
idea.
do you pronounce that? Piqueudes?
Sounds like peyote.
Peyote?
Sorry, I'm glad you're back, Mark. We need you.
Sorry about that.
I've seen Rebecca or eaten.
Yeah, Barbie, you cannot. It's not physically possible. That science, in that university, that science department, physics, they tried it. They could not do it.
I've just got a normal piece of paper.
Try it.
I can
Count it out loud and show us.
Well, is there like parameters to this? Do I have to keep folding it in half?
Yeah, you just keep folding it. Show us.
1.
What about like
2, 3.
What's the Japanese one? Not
I can count 2, by the way.
We noticed.
5. This is A4 paper. 6. 7.
Yes, qualify.
8. 9. 10.
Yeah, I think Cryptic Cowboy's right. I think it does have to be folded in half. I think that is the parameters.
Ah,
yeah, I think that is
at least
right.
I'm getting an upper arm workout. 13.
But
There's
she's trying.
13, and I've still got that much left on the paper. See?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think he's right. Yeah.
All right, I'll try again. Where's another piece of paper?
Shakes.
Hold on, she's gonna.
Okay.
Only gonna take her a second.
Okay.
I just thought it was fascinating
years.
because when you stop and think about it,
I don't think
at first I was like, no, that is. I think that is possible. Then when I saw the science department at that university take 5 kilometers of toilet paper, I was like, well, they're going to, and they're like, and they tried it. It's like physically impossible.
And they've got nothing more important to figure out.
So, hello, NSPS TV.
That's 5 on A4.
Oh, am I supposed to call you? How many did you get?
5 on an A4 piece of paper, and then I'd have to actually be physically hurtful with it.
But they've added another parameter, Michelle. 1/2 inch.
I know, right? Yeah. But anyway.
So NSPS TV, make sure to send me a message at Grizzly Chris, and I'll make sure and contact you after the show. I do apologize. Sometimes
Welcome back, Mr. Honey Shakes.
Sometimes I get behind on messages, so I'll get you.
We need a cable.
So
I have to keep muting myself because my washing machine's being overly noisy.
In your lounge.
Michelle, next year we're taking a trip to America.
Who is?
And young Grizzy wants a surprise. Wait for it.
Who's going to America?
You and I. We're going to surprise Grizz.
Boy,
and all
y'all going to get banned.
No?
Don't expect me. I don't have a passport. I'll be an illegal immigrant if I turn up.
I don't think they'll let me in.
I hate to see where this is going to be called.
Rescue 901.
You have to do a layover, fly from Australia to San Francisco.
I'll pick you up.
I can pick you guys up. I'm, a 90-minute drive from SF San Francisco Airport, SFO.
Cool. We're going to have a road trip.
You know what somebody told me today?
And Louise.
Somebody told me that the world was flat. And I was like, okay, entertain me. And they're like, well, when you fly from Taiwan to whatever destination, why don't they fly over the ocean in a straight line instead of flying 14 hours around the country and hitting all these land spots? And I sat there and I just listened for a second. And I said, did you just realize what you just said? And they're like, yeah, why don't they fly in a straight line? Because they fly off the world into space. The Earth's flat. And I was like, no. I said, the reason why they don't fly in a straight line is when they fly all these other countries, they stop. And they pick up more passengers and drop off and refuel. So that
It's a
7 or 8
bit-
stops, there's 7 or 8 other passengers picking up and dropping off. They're like, oh. I was like, my Lord, people.
Yeah.
The death of common sense.
And cargo. Airlines make a lot of their money from cargo.
FedEx, UPS, mail.
Yeah, they bring mail on board and other cargo.
I was like, it just blew my mind. So, anyways.
Maybe they're the same ones that fold toilet paper.
That was funny to see them try that. That was hilarious. So,
what was this about toilet paper?
So they say if you can fold, then it's got to be.
You missed it.
If you can fold a piece of paper 113 times, right, it'll be thicker than the universe. But if you can fold a piece of A4 paper, cannot be folded more than 13 times, and it's got to be half by half by half. And university said yes, we can. So they took 5 kilometers of toilet paper, because it's paper, and they were going to debunk that, and they couldn't. They got up to 13, and they couldn't fold it anymore. It's physically impossible.
Fold it in half. That changes the whole.
Well, that's the reason why they got 5 kilometers. They thought, well, we can beat that with that kind. So yes.
No.
So hello, RCC. Welcome everybody. So yeah.
So, this is science in America, honey shakes.
Oh, you have to investigate everything. You have to at least give it a little investigation, no matter how crazy it sounds.
Well, I did. Now I have a ruined piece of paper. Thanks for that, Grace.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I've still got a dunny roll.
You can still wipe your bottom.
Border control.
I'm not allowed to say oh, sorry.
Unbelievable.
Hang on, I'll just fix that for you.
We might need a bus.
What are you fixing? Oh, she's going to start sign language. It scared me for a moment. I don't know where she's going to go.
Better than the naughty corner.
I put myself in the naughty corner.
A little bit of sign language. Everyone's got to know a bit of it. This is I think this is high. At least American Sign Language. I don't know how other countries do it. There's about 60 versions of sign language.
Oh, great. Like languages.
Yeah. Well, let me just show what, okay, I won't knock the screen off this time. So.
Okay,
Did
good.
that really happen?
What happened was I was trying to shrink and move the screen around. And what I wound up doing was turning off my web browser.
This is way more high tech than Cath's maps.
Correct.
Oh. Okay. So here we are. Earthquake 3D. I was looking at this area right here, San Diego, for the quake. And right out here is Catalina Island. Let me shift these a little bit here. And then this quake here struck, 3 miles off of Catalina Island at a place called Avalon, a little town there, which I've been to. And I said there'd be 2 quakes. So this quake struck on December 1st over here. And then this quake here, which actually is, this came in at a 4.1. This is coming in at a 4.2. And it struck just outside of LA. And I'm not going to get any fancier than that. So I was looking for a big quake and a small quake. It turned out small quake, big quake. And I thought they would be down here. So this is about 70 miles from San Diego. And this one's about 200 miles from San Diego. So that's California, missed forecast. I have another watch, which I have not posted yet. So you guys are going to get the breaking news here. I'm just going to use my fingers here. You see these big cracks here in the ocean?
Yeah.
Some of them are cracks or trenches or canyons. Others are mountains. And mountains in the ocean or mountain ranges, I believe, are like icebergs. You see a small percentage above and the big percentage below because they're floating on, the magma of our planet. Underneath all this hard ground is 3,000 to 6,000 degree magma, and we're just floating on it, which is insane to even think about, but that's reality. So let me turn these quakes down here and make it more presentable. So that's one of the things we do is we change the data parameters so we can look at stuff more clearly.
So all those rings that you had on there that we could see, were they actual
all
earthquakes?
these?
Yeah,
all these are earthquakes,
like actual earthquakes.
Actual earthquakes. So I have this is 30-day, every quake from 2.5 magnitude, 2.5 and higher. And if you look at this, it's too much data. You cannot comprehend it. But
that's incredible.
If you bring it to more significant quakes, 3.9 and higher. So here's our 3.9s here, there, and here, 3.9. And higher, you have less quakes. And then if I turn the date range down, which you'll see up over here, date range. And I'm going to look at like the last, this gives me like 5 days, last 5 days or 6 days. Now you can kind of understand it. You can understand it. This is the big Japanese quake here. And if I turn the magnitude to only higher quakes, you can see right now, there's your 7.5 right there. Yeah. And if you look over here, 7.5 on January 1st, 2024, that was big. That was really big. And it's going to affect all quakes on the planet for at least a month, maybe more. Everything's going to be just slightly odd and smaller. It released a lot of energy from the planet. So that's what we had here. My next forecast is based on, I have to change this a little bit more, the parameters. Give me some more dates. Here we go. And right here, I think this will do it. Not that one, this one.
Mark,
that's one right there. That quake, that's what I'm looking at here. So this one quake, 4.6. This is the Mariana Trench. And what happens is these quakes will go off along this ridge here that my little mouse is on. And about 15 to 20% of them will spread out here. And then they get caught between these trenches. The energy, like in a swimming pool, it just bounces back and forth and comes along. And then, bam, it hits California. I think this quake, because of, I'm not going to go to all the boring details. I believe this quake is going to get caught right down this trench. It's called the Mendocino Trench. And it's going to hit right here. This area, the Juan de Fuca, at about a 5.0 range, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, starting tomorrow through the 12th. Yeah, 6 day. I think it's a 6 day window. So we may see a big 5.0 go off here in this area. Most likely it'll go off right there, right in that little area. And then we watch to see if it makes it into California or if it goes up and out. Mostly they've been going up and down the Sierras. Very few have been going down the coastline. So that's what I have. That's what I'm looking at right now. A lot of other forecasters are looking at the East Coast. They have some bizarre quakes, and none of us know what the heck to think of them. And let me go to all 30 days here. So California obviously has a lot of quakes. The East Coast is having a whole bunch of interesting quakes. So, and you can see they're spaced evenly, and we don't know what it means. Is it just the quakes, or will they build to something bigger? We don't know yet. So that's it kind of on quakes.
Is it right that like when just before the earth shake, all these orbs and that pop up, and it's actually quartz being compressed, and that's creating the spark? Like, you know those gas lighters that you use, those ones with a big long stick that you light your gas with? Apparently they're built the same way, so that there's a whole lot of crystal quartz in that, and then they smash together, and that's what creates the ignition.
Yes, they do. I'll turn this around here.
So,
and then I want to show you guys something else, which I think is going on with both. Here we go. With both earthquakes and alien craft that we see in the sky.
This is why I wanted to bring all of this up. Like, this is what I know. Can I interrupt for a sec? Because you'll come back. Yeah, you'll come back into clarifying and helping me out here. In Australia, we have what are called the Min lights, and all the truckies talk about them when they're traveling across the centre of Australia, across from east to west coast. They see all these Min lights. They're all these little like light spheres. Sometimes they come up and they follow them, and then they'll disappear as soon as they get to a certain distance. Then we've got the orbs and that we see with the sassies and the footies. Some people relate that to upstairs connections. Other people say it's merely a decoy. If you've got a lens and you're focused on a certain sassy that's got an orb with it, it's possibly a decoy to some other action on the side that hasn't been noticed. Then we have the indigenous over here. They speak about the orbs as spirits. In American Indian with the Castaneda energy speech, it's energy and redeployment of energy, control of energy, like the avatars. Then in Uralla, where I live, we have a lot of history of ball lightning. In one situation here, Grizzy, one struck through a keyhole of a front door. It travelled through the house. They were sitting having dinner. They felt like an energy behind their necks, and then that energy then travelled straight out the back door through the back keyhole. There's no, like, it's erratic. There's no pattern apparently. St. Elmo's Fire and Brown Mountain have connections with that. Then we have, oh no, I can't say that. There's two different descriptions of or definitions of what an orb is. One, a spherical object or shape. The other one is any concentric sphere in old astronomy surrounding the Earth and carrying celestial bodies in their revolutions. Voila.
Fascinating.
I'm going to speak up. My washing machine is louder than me. I've actually experienced the ball lightning, and I know someone who had that ball lightning come out of there when we had the old telephones, like the landline. It came out of the telephone and chased him around the room.
It's terrifying.
Having said that, in this area, particularly same area, it's trap rock country. So, yeah, that one, those ones.
Old telephones, not. Oh, I don't wear my cell phone. It's not the old, not the new cell phones. True.
But we had like trap rock country, and the lightning strikes were way higher than anywhere else. Like if there was a storm, like always, everything was being hit with lightning because of the rock structure, or it could be the iron ore content underneath, and that attracts more lightning. So, yeah. But the lightning, it nearly hit me. My mother and I was standing under a tank of water, but the laundry was underneath and the door was open, and big storm came up and we were standing under the tank and we were folding up the laundry that we'd just got off the line before it got wet. And this ball came through the door and it missed my wrist only because I pulled back.
These people...
It hit the floor and disintegrated into the concrete. And she looked at me and I looked at her and she said, "Get inside now." So,
did you get a rash or anything? These people had a rash, a red, like a soft burn mark all on their necks, every one of them at the table.
Really?
Where it hit them, and then luckily, it didn't hit with the full force.
Well, it was a concrete floor, not an earth floor, so maybe that had something to do with being able to... Because
we're on granite here, so there's a lot of quartz, and there's a lot of quartz veins. We've got gold, so it's like a conductor.
The same here. On Christmas Eve, my sister had a horse struck with lightning during a storm as well, and that country is also... got a lot of rock underneath, like on the hillside, a lot of a bit like here, the gold type country. So I think it's got something to do with magnetic material as well. But it's hard to believe. I know it's hard to believe, but it
is. And like they made that movie St. Elmo's Fire and apparently all about that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the Brown Mountain connection is. I haven't had a chance to look into that. I think that's an American thing.
Well, we heard the story of this neighbor that had got chased around the house by this ball of lightning coming out of his telephone, we thought he was crackers.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't believe it. We thought he was like, woohoo. What was he smoking or whatever, But I actually experienced it myself, so I know it's possible.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I've never seen ball lightning. I
it
have
runs
experienced
like a worm, kind of.
Yeah, I've read some stuff on it, and I don't think anyone has a good idea about it yet. We just don't have enough true study of it, like someone filming and taking measurements as it passes by.
But like this is like similar to the orbs, like. I didn't know orbs as in orbs until about 5 years ago. I always just associated it with energy spheres, Like I didn't know it had a word. Lucky that bus is getting bigger.
Well, the orbs are like there's a lot of contentions around orbs because a lot of people mistake orbs, like they call them spiritual orbs or spirit orbs. That are actually just photographic, or insects or this or that. But there are, if you can blow up orbs, if it's a spiritual orb, there'll be a face in it. And also proper orbs or energy balls are not, they're solid. They're not, transparent as well. But that's as much as I know about.
Well,
we had a whole herd of cows recently in Dorrigo, which is not far from here. The whole herd were wiped out with lightning. Same as I think Jean just said.
It's
no burn marks, they just cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but Dorrigo's up high. It's very high. A lot of rock there, but not so much quartz.
It's about, I'm pretty sure it would be about the iron content in the rock because it's drawn to, it's got to be drawn to one of those things.
Yeah,
it was an interesting study to see where the lightning strikes and what's actually underneath, but it'd be pretty hard to keep going around digging everything up to find out what's underneath there.
But it's weird how they're not marked. They just cark it. I suppose they get such a great electrical shock it blows their hearts from the inside out.
Well, I've had some pretty big zaps from the electric fence, and there's been no marks. But holy dooly, it throws you.
Yeah,
it throws you. It's like, ouch, that really hurt.
The same, Gene.
I've touched electric fences, and they hurt. Only as a child. I've not touched an electric fence as an adult.
Yeah, well, you don't pee on them, guys.
No, definitely not.
No. But I've got hit under the arm a couple of times. That's right in the lymph node area, and holy dooly, that like rocks you. But I've been hit going under and hit on the back, and it slammed me into the ground.
Jeez, you must be conductive to get hit so often.
Yeah, actually, I think it's inherited because my dad couldn't wear a watch. He couldn't wear a watch. It doesn't work. He was so magnetic that it just wouldn't work. That's back in the days of the old watches, of course. So he would have had to be pretty careful. I'm pretty careful when there's storms around.
Same.
I always on my run, yeah. Because
no umbrellas.
Or golf stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, interesting, but tragic at the same time when it happens.
Yeah,
it's tragic.
That guy lost his life, because the farm, he lost his whole herd. He had no more milking cows. Done, finished.
Horses get hit a lot because they have a high body temperature, and if they go and stand under a tree or under a pole or anything, but it's the density of the large body, and they have a high heat energy. So if there's a herd of them, it's going to be more. So if ever you're out in a storm on a horse, get off, get away. Like you got to get out of it fast. You can really get hit on a horse because of the heat transfer.
Well, what do you think about these if say the sassies? I'm talking about Barb now because it's been spinning my mind since I saw those photos that you shared. There's a little sassy with a ball and holding the ball, and the ball is lighting up like dull and light like this. But on the other side, not far away, is a big one. And I tend to find these, I don't know what they are, I call them sentients. They always have a staff. They're holding a staff. They're usually white, long and thin. They're like I don't know, to me they're more of upstairs and they're like guardian. A sentient. Yeah. But in this particular photo, there was one not far from where the baby was holding the orb. And there was this sentient standing right next to it. And it was like they're having this in-depth conversation, like Sassy's going, yep, okay, got it. Okay. It was like that. Other times you see the orbs and that above the sassies or the footies, not too far away, which creates the connection. I'm going to run away in a minute.
No, we're not laughing at you. Ah, she's gone. So she's what she's talking about, and Barb will know about this too. I actually asked my paranormal friend. About that because he's like big on whether an orb is what it is and whether it's authentic or whether it's just this or that, or and because I felt that it was some sort of transmitter or a healing. They used it for healing or they used it to transmit. And he confirmed with me that it was actually a communication device.
I've always thought that was my gut instinct because of when they appear, how long they last, and the distance. Sorry.
Yeah, so it could be communication before they move interdimensional or before they get picked up, kind of thing. But it was very interesting. He's seen, we call them yowies here, and another person that's working with him, he was doing army work up in Queensland, and he was doing practice through the bush, and one came out and stood on the path directly in front of him, and he stopped and it turned around and then it left, and he thought, it's telling me not to go any further. So he turned around and went back, but he's seen lots of them, and they actually leave markers to tell you not to go any further.
Yeah.
So that was his sense of it. So that was very interesting too. That all came from that.
I felt like if I could get the answer, my ultimate is to figure out the travel, how they travel. Is it Hertz related? Is it, some other control from upstairs changing the Hertz to enable them to travel? From what I can understand, the travel time seems to be at a very high Hertz, above 2000 is when they seem to change Earths or worlds or... Yes.
It's quite possible. Yes, Barb, quite possibly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of grateful you didn't go any closer than what you were.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like there's a tolerance there of, how close you can come. I'm getting chills and confirmation while I'm saying this, so
it's
pretty confident
with the big fella on the right having this. It was like a serious conversation, like, okay, got it. Whereas the camera and everything is focused on the beautiful little cutie woody, with this amazing light coming in and out, pulsating. Amazing footage, Barb. Like really amazing footage.
Yeah, and that he's actually created that between his hands, which is actually possible.
Yeah.
What are you putting holy water on me? No, he's actually like created that energy ball within his, which is quite amazing that they know how to do that.
Yeah, like I've heard a lot of that with the American Indians and all the indigenous with they call it redeployment, so that they can control the energy and shape the energy, and they can throw it. They can use it for specific, tasks. They can muck up band waves just by controlling the energy. But
yeah, no, it's fascinating stuff. I mean, have you ever tried like has anyone tried to create an energy ball?
Yeah.
Don't do it while there's lightning around, though, please. And someone else said that horses wear shoes and that's why they get struck by lightning. But I do know for a fact several cases where the horses were barefoot, not shod. So that's not it either.
That makes a difference.
Yeah,
that was a question I had. If the shoes came into play.
Sorry, I saw that come across and I wanted to address that. But no, there's several cases of them being barefoot, no shoes. But shoes are definitely an issue, and so is stirrups on the saddle. Yeah. So
the decorative ones, with all their bridles all done up and all the the stirrups and everything. Thanks,
welcome,
Bob. You gave us the footage.
That was fascinating footage. I had so much fun with that. And to the point, I think I've attracted something, because when I went to bed last night, something was sniffing the back of my neck energetically. And I was like,
oh, I can't wait to get that bus.
Yeah. And I'm like, uh-oh. What have I attracted? I haven't dealt with it yet. I knew you'd laugh, Chris, but it's not funny.
There are other orbs that I can't think of the name of them, I'm sorry, where they call them like ghost orbs. And they're like, I'm going back to you, Jean, in a way. I'm trying. They're like they call them ghost orbs, or there's a special name I can't think right now. My head's getting slammed at the moment with some of these things going on here. I'm trying to keep it together, and I will.
Look away. Look away.
These ones are apparently scientifically they're like a road energy area. Don't get the bus ready, and we will be dropping you off somewhere else. Anyway, these little orbs apparently float out there all by themselves, and they don't belong to anyone or anything. They're lone little orbs. They call them ghost orbs. apparently they will attract to each other, like negative attract negative, the same as fear attracting fear and fibbing attracting more fibbing and all that rubbish.
Makes
so
sense.
they get together and then they stay together as one new orb of negativity, basically. They're called ghost orbs. Back to you, Jean, with the remote viewing. Who knows? Like, it could be a representation of somebody viewing, but I don't really see how.
Can we go back to the ghost orbs? Because I actually have a friend in Arizona, which is a high
vortex
UFO area. But she took a photo of the front of her house, and it was like littered with orbs. And she's a medium. And it was like her whole front yard was full of spirit orbs. And when I blew it up,
the always-on odor-fighting air freshener you set and forget. No outlets used, no batteries needed, no effort required. So your bathroom stays continuously fresh for 45 days. That's the power of Febreze Small Spaces.
Are you being rude?
And I say novelty because it is so novel.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, no.
There we go. I'm sorry. I was like, Febreze.
We're talking about electrical stuff. And then the bathroom comes into it.
I know. I was like, Michelle,
Yeah,
is that
so
for me?
What you said about them gathering, that was a gathering because obviously because she's a medium, they attract passed over people who want to talk, and her whole front yard, and I could pick up faces like all everywhere. Yeah,
because
yeah.
like
so sorry.
They were like, no, you're right, because some people say they're like, you know how you have lost spirits between planes that haven't gone wherever they've got to go. Well, these ones are really lost because they're so different than any of the other ones. I don't know if it's a trauma effect that's so bad that they've just been swung out on their own, but they joining them together, they still only stay within. They don't attract any other type of energy spheres. They only stick with these negative ones. But as far as the string theory and that goes, they
oh, here we go.
I want to go home.
No, keep going.
As far as the string theory and that goes, because they're so unique, they speak of them not fitting into any of the strings.
I'm not.
So you've got these extra. Carry on. I give up.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hell, bro. Giddy up about.
I'm going to tie you to that big wiener truck, and I'm going to drag you behind the bus at 150 miles an hour, and I'm going to swish you from side to side and hear you scream.
Is she talking to you, Chris?
Yeah.
That's mean. All right, I'm going to mute myself while you talk about string theory.
We are. This is us, young lady. Oh dear. So, anyone know what the Hutchinson's effect is?
Never heard of it.
No.
Well, the Hutchinson effect is band wave control. Controlling different effects, so that if you've got towers, etc., around the place, there's some sort of a way that microwave energy can be faked and controlled and bent. This will I have to be funny, thank you. So that's interesting.
That's a serious conversation, is not?
Beg your pardon?
Is it not? That's a serious conversation, is it not?
I'm picking up good
we'll have that next week.
She sent me good vibrations. Good.
I want some of what you're on.
He's reading the comments and it's like, oh, God, they're going off. But anyway.
I know, but I'm trying to not get us thrown into a canyon and never get out of it.
What's the difference?
Play at the same time.
We're always down there. Over to you, Mark.
I know.
Well, I really only have one subject matter to bring to this, and I'll turn my camera around for this. But it's the what I mentioned earlier. It's called Fata Morgana.
Yes,
and it has to do
sounds
with
like Latin.
It might be or Italian. I think it's
What did you say?
Italian.
Fata Mata.
Well, Fata Morgana. So I think it means fake image. I think that's a translation of it.
Okay.
So it has to do with mirage, which is like I was mentioning. Anytime you drive through the desert and it's really hot, you look down the road, you see water, you don't see the road. And what really got me interested in all this was back in 2014. We do group motorcycle rides for like all weekend. And they always like to put me up front because I have the ability to sense when there's a cop ahead. I do. And so I said, you're in front, Mark. And I bring the whole group down. If I sense a police officer, I bring it all down. There's another story with that. But so we had just left town and it was in the morning in the desert. And I'm riding along and I'm ahead of the group and I come across an RV that's going very slow. We all want to do 100 miles an hour and the RV is doing like 50. So I look down the road and as far as I can see for 5 miles is empty road. So I pull out and from behind the RV and it started accelerating past the RV. And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, I see this glimmering in the road ahead of me, this shimmer, shimmering happening. And this car begins to slowly materialize and come up out of the road. And I'm like, what is this all about? So I pull back into my lane. It wasn't that close. It wasn't a close call. It was just like, why did I not even see it? Was my thinking. So that's what I experienced. Everyone behind me says, Mark, what in stronger words than this, what in the heck were you thinking when you made that pass? And I said, I saw 5 miles of empty road. And what it was the road dipped down in that area and this car had come into it and was totally covered with mirage from the heat and then slowly came up out of the mirage and there it was. So Fata Morgana, there's a lot of good evidence with ships. And let me just show you some amazing footage here. If you look up Fata Morgana, spell it Fata space Morgana. And if you type in Fata Morgana ships, then you get all the really cool stuff. Can you guys see this?
Ships?
Well, no, that's a real ship. That's a real cargo ship. It's actually on the ocean. But the light from the mirage, the ocean is now warmer than the air. It's reflecting the sky. And so it looks like the ship is floating. There's other things here. Here we go. Here's a sailboat.
Oh, yeah.
It's bat dung crazy what we see.
Perception.
And let me show you this. This might be too small of a one. No, okay. Wikipedia shows it even. Wikipedia even talks about it, so it's real. Here's one. Here we go. So here's a ship that's done a mere reverse. And here's a group of ships. They all look like they're floating. These are each different ships, but it looks like they're floating. So, and I can go on and on with photos.
Yeah, they look like they're in the sky. You know, when people talk about the ghost ships, they see them as ghost ships, but it's just like you say, the mirage.
Yeah.
Or however you say it, Morgana.
Yeah,
Just found
Fata
the Holy
Morgana.
Grail of body
So
wash.
what's so
This is the
fascinating
amazing
about
body
this
wash
is
from Native, which is made of simple, effective.
Grizzly. We hear you. Body wash.
Do you know what planet we're on at the moment?
Planet far, far away.
God, I nearly said something then.
I knew it was coming. That's why I stopped the music.
Yeah, lucky I didn't say it.
So
yeah.
okay, let me just finish. This is really important when it comes to UFO stuff, but it has other implications. So I believe that when we see these objects in the sky, these lights that are just kind of like spinning, they look weird, and all of a sudden there's two of them, and then they come back together and they're spinning. I believe that they have some sort of energy field around them. I'm going to guess that it's a gravity field, and it's hot, and it's reflecting the light around it from behind it. And then when we see them split, that's what we saw with the ships there. We see the ships mirror image themselves. They just all of a sudden they just go up, and now there's two of them. I think that's what we're seeing. So when we see these lights in the sky, we're not seeing the ship. I think we're seeing the energy field around the ship. But I definitely believe there's a ship there creating it. So with ball lightning, it is possible that they're inside of it. There's a small piece of matter, hard matter, could be big piece, and it's heated up, it's energized, and what we're seeing with this kind of this weird energy around it is actually heat reflecting light. It could be layers of heat reflecting its own image around itself. So that's what you're seeing.
Yeah,
So it's a possible explanation, but I think there's something inside of them.
Yeah, and like as you say, you know, perception, like the ships, you know, that look like they're in the sky, and like when we're looking at footies and sassies, and the cameras won't pick them up, and all that sort of thing as well.
The sky keeps on turning.
Maybe a horse float would be a more convenient for this one on the back of the bus.
Garbage truck.
Well, you can get
your Lux ride is quickly decreasing, Grizzy.
That's interesting, though.
Okay.
But what about if there's something inside that ball? Could it not be collecting electricity as it goes?
Oh yeah. I mean, the science is unknown. It absolutely could be gathering energy, magnetic energy coming through a house. Our houses are basically a giant antenna. We have electrical wires. My background's construction. I'm a carpenter. I do remodeling for houses, residential remodeling. So our houses have all these wires going through them, and they can also act as an antenna.
Yeah, because they're conductors. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, how do we know those orbs up there are not just the way we perceive that vision of some sort of equipment? You know, not technical equipment like our rubbish stuff, but, you know, upstairs equipment. Maybe, you know, it's just surrounded in a visual so that we can't see exactly what type of communication object they're using. You know, like an orb is a spherical object that's contained, you know. So how do we know that they're just not putting a shell around some form of a communications? We see them with the sassies, the footies, the UFOs, Skinwalker Ranch, you know, the vortexes in Sedona. We see them with the volcanoes. We see them with the earth shakes. It's all electric pulsing type energy.
Yeah.
It's just another way of perception of trickery. It could be.
I don't know. It could be an illusion, but what I saw was blue-white, very intense blue-white light. Like it's unmistakable, almost like fluorescent lighting. And
You
it
two
is
got the same doors.
It is fuzzy around the edges. What?
Sorry, you two have got the same doors.
What doors?
Oh, I thought she said drawers.
What
I reckon we take you straight to Reno.
Here we go. Here's a picture I created.
Oh, see the door. No,
Oh, wow.
mine's prettier than his.
It's all trickery. That's me. That's my motorcycle. That's a cow that was actually standing there. This is actually a little image of a flying drone, and I just did the white light. It's on my Instagram page.
I like it. See,
Actually,
there's Mark's dog.
When I was talking to the paranormal guy last night about his stuff, because he was talking about videos and photos and all that sort of stuff, and he actually had taken a photo. Sorry, am I talking over the top of someone? Okay. And it got sent to experts.
What expert?
Experts on paranormal stuff, and that said that it was a capture of a ghost coming through a wall. That actually captured spirit entity coming through a wall, and it was his photo, but it had been stolen and sent in, and they all said it was accurate. You know, it was legit. And then he came along and said, "That's my photo, and that's not legit. I had the shutter speed at the wrong speed, and the next photo he took, it was actually a dog. He took a photo of a dog, but because he had the shutter speed at the wrong, it looked like a ghost coming through the wall, and it was declared as authentic. And this is how illusions get created. So, you really can't believe anything that you see unless you've taken it yourself or it comes from a reputable source, I guess. But
light distortions, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're seeing on those lines over my eyes. That's a reflection as part of it. It's not just you're not just seeing through it. You're seeing a reflection within it.
And you got the blue dot.
Oh yeah, and the blue dots. That's my computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you can see yourselves in there.
Like with those, some of those. I like.
It's fascinating. I mean, light is fascinating, and you just have to really look and understand and think about what you're seeing. I'm not at all saying that what we're seeing is to discount that nothing's actually there. I'm saying that, again, I think stuff is actually there, but there's an energy field around it that's distorting the light. And that's what we need to kind of figure out.
But we all create our own energy field.
Oh, yeah.
So some are stronger than others.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother conversation. Wow. Do I sound knowledgeable today? Tonight?
Yes, you're always knowledgeable. Thank God you can see a straight face too.
I saw that look on your face.
Auras are very interesting. Yeah,
I'm going to throw lightning bolts at you in your sleep.
They are. Like the ones in the middle of Australia that all the truckies see. Sometimes they'll follow them, and not just one. What? Yeah. Scary. They'll follow the truck, and one will come down and just have what looks like it's just having a little look, and then a whole heap of others will come down, like you've got 20 or 30, and they'll circle around the trucks, and then they'll just ping, gone. Lots and lots of people see them all the time traveling across the Nullarbor.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't witnessed that, but I would love to. But it sounds a little kind of scary. Like, what if there was enough of them to actually lift you up and take you away?
Well, that's right. If you don't know what they are, and if anyone's ever seen Wolf Creek, that's the last place you'd want to be caught in the middle of the desert out there.
Yeah, it's kind of because they seem to have a mind of their own, and it's not just light refraction.
And if they muck around with all the electrics on the truck,
reflection or refraction.
Yeah. They actually move in
Well, and us humans can do some interesting light distortion. If you've ever been to a concert and they swing the spotlight around and they aim it right at you, you can't see anything. You cannot see the spotlight. You're just literally blinded by the light.
Yeah.
And
one of the guys did that to me shooting one night.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of those things. And then the other one is we've all done the little test where you look at a red circle on a piece of paper and you blink a bunch of times, and then you look away and you blink at the wall and you see
Sorry, not laughing at you, Mark.
something else.
Yes, one of the comments. Sorry, I get distracted.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
It's not hard.
Yes,
Is it?
I often laugh, and Cath thinks I'm laughing at her, but I'm not laughing at her. I would never laugh at Cath.
You can. Everybody else does.
But yeah, that is very interesting, and they still haven't solved that mystery, have they, as to what they actually are?
No, and depending on who's talking, if it's Indigenous speaking, they speak spirit, whereas other people speak energy. Other people speak upstairs. But
I know what it is.
Tell us.
Swamp gas.
Swamp gas in balls that have come from America. That figures.
Actually, the Aboriginals have a lot of information regarding UFOs and strange things. And I'm reminded of a story which is terrifying, but it's actually down in this part of the country, Cath, on the bottom eastern side of Victoria, in the hills there. And there's Aboriginal colonies still living down on the beaches there. So it comes down into the beaches there. And this friend was staying with mates up in, camping. And this creature started stealing all their knives, their hunting knives and stuff like that. They couldn't see it, but something was happening. And they were out trekking around, down at the fishing hole and whatever, and found a hole in the, like a hollow log. And he looked down and went, "That's my hunting knife. What is it doing here?" So he picked it up and wiped it off and took it back. And then that night, they were around the campfire, and there's this creature circling the campfire, and they called it the Screecher. So they couldn't see it, but it was like horrifying, making this horrifying noise, and it was coming around and around. So they sat back to back around the campfire with their guns all night. They didn't sleep, and it circled the campsite all night long. Now, I'm getting chills. So it's a true story, I feel. And I know the guy, and I know he wouldn't lie. So the next morning, they packed up and they looked around the campsite, and the trees there was no footprints, but the trees had been taken off at a certain height, about 4 foot height, all the way around. So they packed up and left, and they went down and saw the Aboriginals straight away, the elders. And they said, "Oh, yes, that is a creature." So what the Aboriginals say is that there was experiments done with the creatures, and that this particular creature is like part wombat and part something else and part something else. And it's terribly dangerous. And they said, if you had stayed another night, you would never have come out of there, because it's very attached to these shiny objects, and it's very vicious. And if they'd shot at it, like one guy was loaded and ready to shoot, and this guy said, don't do anything. Just wait, just keep your eyes open. And they said, lucky you didn't do that, because you'd be dead right now. So there's creatures that
I
they
would think
the
bullet would have no effect.
Huh? No.
The bullet would have no effect on it.
The Aboriginals say that the aliens have experimented with the creatures, and they've made these creatures. And I was like, don't ever take me anywhere near there. I do not want to go in there. But they have all those types of stories, which is fascinating. And like seriously,
you know how I said that there's this place down the coast where the Yowies meet up once a year, and they have a little gathering.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've got sightings, and they've got research papers, and that it's a that happens every year. It's seasonal. Guess where I'm going in the grizzly van tonight?
Where? Down to where?
Mystery
Grassy
Mobile.
Head. Yep, the Grizzly Mobile. Right, I'm parking the Grizzly Mobile right where they have that meeting.
What? Why
Big
would
red
you do
carpet.
that? Someone's ringing me.
I'll bring
Say
some
no.
Scooby snacks.
Might be the cops.
I got a little change in my pocket going jingle-ling-a-ling. I'll pick up the telephone and give you a ring.
So if we don't see you again, like I hope you've had a great life. And
It's been a blast, absolute blast.
Hope you don't become, the attention of the party or anything like that.
I'll be back, don't worry.
Holy hell.
I know. But you know how I attract trouble?
No, not at all. No, I don't. No.
You know, magnet. Anyway, I'm going to make sure I take some good footage.
Well, if you see, okay, I got one more fun picture. Okay, if you see Bigfoot,
yes,
with this photo, this is just a photo. That's all it is. So the caption I put on this was, "Big feet mean big."
No
you know
hugging,
what?
no kissing until I get a wedding band. I'm filling in lyrics. Somebody's giving me songs.
And I said my day did not start off planned to be with Bigfoot. Things just happened to get me here. Oh, that was fun to take. And,
thank you,
and
Brian.
Bigfoot,
Did we
this
just
is a
go
public
into
statue. There's no, it's just,
bit?
he's all flat. He's all flat.
Was that a canyon?
Yep.
What?
Lucky we couldn't
But
see the
luckily
photo.
they didn't cotton on because they were already in their other cotton underpants. Exactly.
You could have told me, I would have got my binoculars.
Oh, no, that's good. You missed that one.
I can see the tabloids. Bigfoot made me touch it.
No, I put my hat over it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was doing. That was my hat. That I don't know how well it came through. Next week I'll be able to throw a picture up in high quality.
Wow.
So do you know?
We can joke, but
this. So I went to San Antonio like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Not us. Mark did.
So you know how you go to those old saloons and get your picture taken, right? You know how you dress up in the cowboy outfits? Well, we did that. Me and this guy did. And he was like, he told the lady, I want to get a picture. And the lady's like, sure. So, and I'm like, what are you going to wear? He said, nothing. I start laughing. Well, I start turning around and take off my coat. And I hear, I turn around, he's butt naked. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I always wanted to be in an old bathtub. He was getting in that metal thing, where you put water in for your cattle. He got in there butt naked.
Yeah, a trough.
Yeah,
a trough.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of a store.
In the middle of the store.
Yes.
Did it have water in it?
No. He put a hat over it.
He put a hat over it, of course.
What was he on?
Hey, just put it.
She took the picture. He had it covered. I laughed so hard, I was on the floor. I mean, I could not get up. I mean, I really thought he was holding the toe.
No.
But yes, I mean, I thought I was crazy. How do we get on that
funny.
subject?
You wait till you see us arrive, Grizzy. You better warn all your mates. And we would like a road parade, thanks to protection.
No,
and when
Brian,
we want the gun salute as well.
Oh, I'll give you 21 guns, all right.
Yes, please. They can be as big as you like.
So, anyways.
You better warn your partners that the girls are arriving.
Oh, you're all terrible.
I've already been to the States.
We're terrible. Oh, they are. Yeah.
I've already been
So
over there.
I
don't
should
know
have
what I
took a screenshot of the final picture because y'all wouldn't believe me if I didn't have it. So
If the guy in the tub.
yeah, I never. I mean, when she screamed, it freaked me out because it was a weird scream. It wasn't like a scared scream, right? So, and I turned around, he's just standing there with the hat, getting ready to sit down. I'm like, dude, and I just lost it. So
I hope he didn't leave skid marks in the trough. That would be awful.
He could have kept his underwear on.
oh no.
For
Van,
a
you
very
should have saw
small
when he
semblance
showed
of-
his wife the picture. Yes, I was like, he did it in the middle of the store.
Brian,
That's
be
where the
quiet.
trough was,
I
in
can
the
hear
middle of the
you
store.
coming in a second. Don't say it.
So
Yeah. We never got to finish the polar bear either.
it's
I
black.
know.
What? It's coming.
You missed it, Crystal. Oh my god.
You're a bit, yep.
Yeah,
Lucky.
Crystal, you missed
Lucky.
it. So
Yes, the polar bear. We had the polar. I put him away. Oh no.
which is black.
Yeah, I just did the short one today because I knew that the gang were going to put me in the ditch quick smart, so I gave up on that.
Hey, ask Cryptic Cowboy. I found Justin Decker's brother. I did.
Come on.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you're down and out on yourself, okay,
Yes.
and you want to feel better about yourself, go
Watch
to
our
TikTok.
show.
No,
Go
go
to
to
where?
TikTok. TikTok.
TikTok.
You will not feel bad about there are some people out there that's got some serious issues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking need help. I mean, have you seen what they do out there? I'm like, they're nuts. They got some issues. Yes. I'm like, wait a minute. So,
What was the
last
worst?
year.
What was the worst one? What was the worst one?
Wait a minute. So last year, when they talk about banning TikTok, now I know why America went crazy and they threw up an arms race. So they're like, you ain't taking away TikTok. Because let me tell you something. The people out there are crazy. Now, let me tell you something. If you have not been out there, you may find your neighbor. You may find your mother. You may even find your grandmother out there doing stuff that you ain't. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, tonight, I turned it on and he's like, I got herpes. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why are you telling everybody you gotta? And people are crucifying her. She's like, yeah, I'm living with herpes. I'm like, you're nuts. And people are like, why would you tell people that? And she's crying. Then like, I don't feel sorry for you. You got it for a reason. I mean, have you all been out there? Look, y'all got
I've
quiet.
been to TikTok.
Hang on. I'll be back
because I've been to TikTok because there's a link to it, but I didn't keep searching TikTok. I was like, okay,
it's
whatever.
Crazy.
I don't have time for a lot of that stuff. I mean, kitten videos, puppy videos. You watch those for like 5 minutes. Like, well, I have other stuff to do now.
If they took away TikTok, let me tell you what will happen. Now we got the suicide rate in America is through the roof. Through the roof, right? The all-time highest. If they took away TikTok, it would quadruple, probably even more than that, because people go out there to tell their life story and their problems and their drama. I mean, it's crazy.
Everyone? Mark's here.
Hi, how you going?
You have to drop down.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, wee. Hello.
This is
Hello.
This is the Grizzly owner. I've told them that I'm taking
The Grizzly,
Yep.
the van, the camper van.
Yep.
Oh,
all right.
They didn't believe me.
Yeah, it's for sale. One of you guys might be interested.
No way.
No?
Not over there. We need a bigger one.
That's the guy.
But yeah,
Good to
I'm
meet
being
you.
serious. I mean,
Good to
it's
see
just,
you.
I mean, I cannot believe what they put out there on TikTok. So it's crazy.
Oh, good. I'll leave you with
Won't be long.
But I don't know. I mean, look, Lala and them, they know. So it really, I mean, if you all just go out there when you're bored and have nothing to do, like last night, I couldn't sleep, right? And I was like, I'll get out there for like 15 minutes. 3.5 hours later, I'm still wide awake trying to find a phone charger. I'm like, dude, this is getting far out. This is stupid. 3.5 hours later.
Wow.
I'm still in shock
No,
about
you got
folding
sucked
the
in,
paper.
sucked in. So you're fascinated. You're so fascinated by all of this. That's scary.
Because
That's scary.
it's sad. Look, Lala's like, I like watching sharks on TikTok. Big TikTok is, yeah, look at Overbelt. It's nuts. I mean, people have lost their freaking mind.
And yet you're watching it.
So I have no idea. It's just crazy. So it's crazy.
I think what's happening is people are looking for attention. And so
they get it.
Yeah. Well, if you go to Instagram, it's really interesting.
I get bored on Instagram.
Yeah. So like my group, which is really kind of cool, is we pose for motorcycle photos with a helmet on for most of the time, so that you can't see our faces. So now we have to like take a position, but you can't see our face. You have to like telegraph out what you're thinking with just your body position. Most people on Instagram, well, it's just,
right?
Yeah, with the hat. Yeah. Most people on Instagram, all they do is show a face shot over and over again. And so if you go down their thing, all you see is like 50 or 100 pictures of their face. That's a little bizarre. It's like, okay, one, 2 or 3 would be enough, but we have 50 to 100 facial shots.
We have a lot of TikTok judgment here.
I'm telling you. It's wild. It's just wild. It's like it's embarrassing what America's become and what they do.
It's unreal.
It's what no, you don't see other people in other countries do this. It's Americans.
Oh, really?
It really is. Yes.
But look at all the pharmaceutical. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
Oh, I don't care.
All that stuff everybody's on, and all combined, all the side effects jumbled up together. Nobody knows what's going on in real life.
So
some do.
Don't look at me.
I'm not. I was getting ready to get in trouble, from Grizzy.
It's been a rare night.
There's a joke. There's a joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go, Michelle.
Okay. No. It's just saying, you're silly enough to put it out there, and people watch it. Then you get what you get.
Yeah, you're a target, and you've offered up yourself as target.
All right. So over to you, Mark.
Okay, to me. So there's a joke I heard many years ago, and it goes, "When I was young, the world was normal, so I took LSD to make it weird. Now that I'm old, the world's actually weird, so now I take Prozac to make it normal."
That makes sense.
The truth. That is the truth.
Oh,
that's terrible, but it's the truth.
Yeah, LSD. I mean, it's just. But the older you get, it's just like you don't need that anymore. It's like.
And you know that say anymore, Mark.
We're talking about lightning strikes on dirt, right? LSD.
Correct.
That's
right. And that's right. Mm-hmm. Conduction under the ground. That's right.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't mention the earthquakes and volcanoes.
Yes.
We see the lights around earthquakes and only the big ones, and around volcanoes quite frequently. And it's clearly giant rocks down there, hundreds, if not thousands of feet wide that crack. And when they crack, they exert energy and you get lightning bolts.
Yeah. So I'm interested in that because we don't actually really feel an earthquake till it's like, what, 4.2?
Yeah. Well, actually, you can feel them as low as 2.5. If you're in a room with 10 people and a 3.0 goes off, 2 people will probably feel it. The other 8 will be like, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, because you remember that one we had, Michelle? Newcastle had a big earthquake, like way back, like 1980s. Mm-hmm. And I was actually in the middle of Newcastle on a bus when they had the earthquake. And it caused a heap of destruction.
Round and round.
It was. I'm wondering if I was drunk or not because
Want to know if you were drunk or not? That means you were shiticus liticus.
No.
You got it, Grizzly.
Because I'm traveling through Newcastle on a bus ride, and I had no idea that there was a major earthquake that brought buildings down. And so I pulled up, at the bus station and got picked up. But I just thought that it was a really bad bus driver and that he was crunching the gears all the time.
That's highly likely.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was a major earthquake.
Did you feel that one we had here in Urella that time?
Yeah.
I think it was a 2.8. I'm not sure. But it shook about.
Yeah, I was lucky because next door neighbors, everything fell off their shelves. But we were pretty unscathed where we were. But we were on the side of a more sandy kind of, like, I think more absorption. It didn't quite shake us as much. I don't know if that's like...
I was sitting on the fireplace hearth, and the fireplace hearth separated from the floorboards. So it's like, a little bit.
But we had one here recently, and I was sitting on my bed. So it was last year sometime, I think, a little while ago, but more recent. And the whole bed felt like it raised up off the floor and started to move sideways. And I didn't cotton on. Are you laughing at me or someone's comment? Anyway,
the
6B. I was reading something and I said to the cat, because he's big, he's a big cat, he's big, and I said, Rags, are you under there? Whatever you're doing, stop it now. And then I looked up, and the mirrors on my dresser were flapping. There's two side bits, there's the main mirror and then the antique ones have got this side bit, and they were flapping. And I went, oh, that's not the cat. And then the window started to and I was like, okay, everybody stop that now. It's not funny. I still was thinking it was paranormal activity, and I'm like, stop that now. You're not allowed to do that. But it actually was an earthquake, so that's the biggest one.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the joke that just came across the screen.
Is that a joke?
Like Crystal.
Microwave.
That's a joke. It has to be a joke. Because the thing you're trying to kill would die in the washer.
Yeah. But how can you not feel a major earthquake Newcastle and then have that?
Some people mistake it. So a friend of mine who is studying medicine down at UCLA, Los Angeles, which one was that?
I
There
told
was
you
a
it
quake
wasn't
down
a
there. It
joke.
was a 7.2. And he went out to his car, got into his car, and as he was starting it up, the earthquake hit. And he thought, all of his thoughts were, oh my God, there's something really wrong with my car. 7.0 is going. He's trying to start his car, it's just shaking like this. Oh, that was the I'm just drawing a blank on the name.
I don't know how you can think about anything.
It was a really bad bus driver. I just thought, this bus driver is the worst.
Yeah.
New shockies.
Having a seizure.
Funny.
I don't know how people actually live in earthquake territory or tornado territory, as an everyday or, more than, a constant kind of threat. That would do my head in.
Yeah. Ice storms are bad too. So an ice storm is where you have the rain coming down, which is warm up high, and it comes down. As it gets down towards the ground, the temperatures are very cold, so it freezes as it comes down. And as soon as it hits something, it freezes to it. And this goes on for hours and hours. So all of a sudden, on the side of a 2-story house, you have all this ice build up, weighing maybe several thousand pounds, and then just fall and peel the entire side of the house off with it.
What?
And that happens out in the central part of the United States, in the Great Plains. Ice storm.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Huge trees. Well, all the limbs will break off, and then the trunks will be split to pieces. Big, hundreds-year-old trees. That's an ice storm for you. They're everywhere.
Wow. I haven't heard of that, but I can.
Yeah.
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 Would be
I'm
nice.
lost.
New Zealand. I bet New Zealand has some ice storms. They're far enough north or south towards the
This
pole.
poor person, brand new in the chat. I have no idea what's going on. I just want to say the dude in the top left has a beautiful bald head.
Can you imagine the poor audio trying to translate this?
That's good.
He's blushing and snorting. That happened last time, and then he shut us down because he was blushing and snorting.
Poor person's like, I don't know what I just walked into this chat room. So,
Well, we need to be happy. We need to laugh, because the whole world's a mess. So it's best to have a good laugh.
I'm telling you, get on TikTok. When you feel bad about yourself, just get on TikTok.
Nah, just call me. That'll make you happy.
So
Yeah.
Well, the world's too serious to be serious.
It is. It's exactly.
Laughter's
We
the
all
best
need to have
thing.
some fun. And I'm praying for the poor person on the top of that house in the floods right now.
who?
Ah.
Didn't you see the thing that went across the bottom? There's someone.
Virgil Kane.
Yes.
Wait, I know it's not Virgil Kane, is it? That's someone out of
No,
the.
another person. They're in the floods.
That's not a
which is
movie.
not funny. They're waiting to be rescued.
I
Are
hope
you
that's
being
not
serious?
true.
It is.
But I did hear that England had or London had an ice vortex.
Europe's getting pummeled. There's this
ice
massive big
vortex?
wind that's sucking up, and then
Yeah.
it's heading
Hey,
northwest.
time out. Time out. Is my mom in here?
What
What?
is she?
She
Oh,
better not be.
wow.
I only know that because my sister's in London right now and my niece.
Why does somebody say that?
Keep an eye on the weather. Hope they're okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I've
it's
had
pretty bad. Like all Manchester, all
prediction
up
for
there got
Europe.
wiped out. Hey,
I-
Well,
Chris,
it wouldn't
believe-
surprise me. They went to a wedding in
our
Vanuatu.
lifetimes,
Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Europe
They
is
went to
going
a
to get
wedding
so
in-
cold. So cold,
Ended
we're going
up
to
in
have
London.
to pull out 100 million Europeans. We're going to have to literally evacuate non-essential people out of Europe. And then the remaining will stay there and see if they can keep the civilization going. But I think Europe's going to go into a very, very cold, snowy, icy place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're
hitting.
screaming for coal over there. They're freezing to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying my sister that's in London right now, they went to Vanuatu for a wedding and there was an earthquake. Seriously. And in the middle of the night, they're running in the dark, dragging everybody up this hill because they thought there was going to be a tsunami coming.
Hi, Mom. I guess she's in here. They're saying
And that
she's
was
in
like a
Facebook.
holiday. And so now they've gone to London and I'm thinking, I wonder what's going to
Yeah.
happen this time. So she's
Now they've hit-
like, you said, she just attracts disaster wherever she goes.
Yeah. Wow. So what country was this earthquake in? And this was recent or
Vanuatu.
No, it was a few years back now, but it was Vanuatu, one of the islands.
Okay.
Like off between Australia and New Zealand or up to the north.
Yeah, up near Fiji.
Vanuatu, one of Fiji. There's a
Yeah.
whole cluster. Yeah, a popular island for, like Fiji, Vanuatu.
Yeah, Virgil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I was an island surrounded by an ocean and a big earthquake hit, I would say we need to get high, right? I mean, not this kind of high, but run up the hill high.
That got me quiet. That did get
has
me.
been really bad.
She's not in here. They just punked me. That got me quiet.
Ha ha ha.
So
yeah,
I was
yeah, I
scrolling through the
think
comments. I'm like, let me check here. I was like, did I miss that?
What was that? A hamster I heard?
Yeah, before they thought they heard a dog panting, and it wasn't mine. It was probably Grizzly.
Why was it me?
It wasn't me.
Wasn't I? No, we have no pets right now.
I have no pets.
I didn't say it was your pet. I said it was you.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Mummy.
Yeah, it was coming from your end.
Not I.
It could only be the washing machine, which is now finished. And it doesn't pant.
It doesn't what?
Pant. They said panting. They heard a dog panting.
Well, what do I sound like when I pant?
As if I would know.
Well, with men, it's like snoring.
Now, you sit there, you're just getting ready to give me a demonstration.
Everyone says we snore, but we always say, well, I never hear myself snore. And they say exactly.
Yeah, but I think Europe's in for a lot of trouble. So much for global warming there, huh?
Swamp, yeah.
Swamp, yes. I mean, in Grizzlies, East Coast or my West Coast?
East Coast. So that was funny. Michelle was getting ready to give me a demonstration. I wanted to hear that one.
What?
So, panting.
Well,
did you?
You can practice for next week, Grizzy.
Yeah. What state are you in, Grizzly? Are you in Virginia?
Yeah. Why is it? What would you pick Virginia for?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Kentucky.
I thought you were in that area.
No,
Kentucky. Okay.
Kentucky.
That's because everything north of that could get cold like Europe, but not as bad as Europe.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, Quebec is in there. I mean, it's just
you
get snow that never melts. It just it becomes really bad.
Snow don't melt.
Does it go off or something? What?
The snow we get does not melt. It's not snow. It's fabricated snow. It's artificial snow.
Why?
Oh, okay, in Kentucky.
No, next time it snows, go outside, grab a handful of it, take a lighter to it. It don't melt.
Take a what?
Lighter.
What?
Lighter.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It doesn't melt.
No.
How?
It's man-made. It's not like the snow when we were kids.
Why do they do that? I've never.
No, we don't live in Kentucky.
Yeah, so a lot of people over the years, and what happened was about 8 or 9 years ago, a guy was sitting at a bar, and this is for real, ladies, I'm being honest. And the guy was like, they were talking about snow, and the guy was like, "You're all nuts." He's like, "That's not snow." And the people at the bar was like, "Give him another drink." And he's like, "I'm not drunk." He said, "That's not snow." He's like, "That white stuff on the ground is snow." And the guy's like, "No, it's not." He gets up, and they're filming him. He goes out, grabs a handful, walks into the bar, pulls out his lighter, and lights it. It does not melt. He says, "Look at it. It's little bitty balls." And they look at it, and it is. Yes, it's not snowflakes. It's all handmade. Man-made,
so maybe that folding with
chemicals.
all the toilet paper is another one of their mad science experiments.
So, but you had people there for the longest time in the past 5 years that didn't believe it, and they were going outside when it snowed, and they were doing that test and posting on YouTube.
She's okay, Jane.
So, does anybody else know about that? Look, Lala says correct. Yes. So
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So I'll try to find the video real quick. See, the
that could
snow
be
is the snow is geoengineered.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me see if I can find
the
video.
global warming people that believe the planet's heating up, they would want to put white stuff on the planet to reflect the heat. And they do other crazy stuff. Guano poop, crazy stuff. Keeping it rated G here. And the real truth is that our planet's cooling.
Wow.
All right, here we go. I got
quite diabolical, isn't it?
Here, I got a.
They don't like anything that's real.
What are you grizzling about?
So
Not I.
No, him. I mean, him.
Yeah.
All right, let me get off here and let me share this video. And see, I don't know if this is a good video to show. I just pulled the first one up that came up. So share screen.
It's in line with the white polar bears.
But this guy just goes out to the UC. Let's see if it works.
Videos online where people claim that snow is fake. Luckily, I happen to have some snow right here. Let's test it. They get some snow
I know
like
this guy.
Flame to it, and it doesn't melt. It even looks like it starts to burn and gets black.
Oh, it would start to do that.
So you could set fire to the snowmen and make them firemen.
Watch out, pick the wrong one.
That scientist you pulled up, he's pretty good. He's very much a nerd, like at the top scale of nerd.
Yeah, Mensa nerd.
Well, I wanted to show you all because a lot of people don't know this, but it's true. And I would pick the wrong one. It's going to take forever to load. Let me back it up a little bit. See if I'm on fiber.
So
I don't know why.
It's not cold then. Like when you touch it, it's not cold, or it is.
No, it's cold, but I don't know
So
how
is it
they
like-
make it. What
Is it
what's
dry
the
ice or
chemical
something?
analysis or the breakdown of it? Let me pick another one.
They get some snow like this,
Dry
and they
ice-
hold a flame to it, and it doesn't melt. It even looks like it starts to burn and gets black.
See, look at it.
It's not dripping at all.
See, that's
What's
like
weird
an
is I'm holding the flame to it, the volume of the snowball changes. You can see it getting smaller and it blackens, but it's not dripping or melting or anything. So it's like the flame is making the snowball just disappear. So you can see it's changing volume, but no drips are coming off of it at all. So there's not a drop whatsoever coming off of it. It still just looks like a normal snowball, basically. But I basically burned away this portion of the snowball. So has the government switched out all the snow for fake snow, or is there something else going on here? Well, first, let's check something easy. If I melt some snow in a pan, so when I put a snowball on here, you can see that it's starting to melt already. But I don't see any water puddling anywhere.
I wonder if it's
Notice
as
that the
solid
water
as
doesn't
snow.
start right away. That's because even though the snow is melting, the water's being wicked up into the air gaps between the ice crystals. So you don't see any melting, even though it is melting. You get just wicking up into the snowball.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not real snow. It's not like, and they actually made a comment years ago. They said not to eat the snow like we used to. We're kids, but they blame that for the pollution in the air, right? But and this all stemmed for the guy. I don't know how he found this out, but he did something at home. And when he was shoveling snow, he noticed that the snow did not look like the snow that he knew when he was growing up, like snowflakes. It was different. It was in small balls or whatever. It didn't have the same shape. And when he was shoveling the snow, he noticed that when the sun came out, it didn't melt like the snow did when he was younger. And I don't know how he thought of this. So he did the heat test, and he was like, and he mentioned it to some people, and they thought he was crazy, and they blew it off. Well, he was at the bar, and he was eating fish and chips, and they were talking about the weather, and he was like, "That's not real snow." And they thought he was crazy, and they like give him another beer, and they made fun of him. Well, he got mad, and I think it was a Friday or Saturday night in the afternoon or evening, and he got mad, went out there and grabbed a handful, and went in front of the bar and lit it, and everybody was filming it, making fun of him, and they were like, "What?" And it just went boom across the internet, and everybody across America, when it snowed, was doing this test, and everybody started throwing a fit, and the government just hushed up about it. They wouldn't answer. They didn't have any response. But explain that to me.
I wonder, is it as heavy, like as
It's
a normal
the
snowball?
density's a little different, but it's not the same. So yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I can understand them doing that on ski resorts when the weather's not, usual, and they need to make revenue and they need to make snow for people to ski on. But to do it in Kentucky, like in ordinary places,
well, this is across America. So we know back in World War One, was it World War One or World War Two? They were tampering with weather already, right? And they've been doing that for World War Two. Thank you. So they've been doing that for many years. So yeah. So it's not something new. It's just people are not paying attention to it. That's why they're thinking that a lot of the natural disasters are happening, because they're testing some of their technology in certain remote areas in these third world countries where they're having all these floodings and stuff, where they wouldn't never have the rainfall like they do, right? But they know how to make things rain and so forth. So yeah, it's pretty wild. So
Hey, and I need to get off the air in 5 minutes.
yeah, well, we're gonna wrap up. We're overboard
Okay.
anyways. But I just wanted to.
My wife has a hurt paw right now. It's all
Yeah,
bad.
I just wanted to show
She
that
can't make
video
dinner,
to
so I gotta go
everybody
make dinner.
About the snow, because a lot of people don't know about the snow, right? So
I'm gonna look that up extensively this week.
yeah. And you
Hecky
see, he
duckies.
went out there, and that's all over. He didn't go to a certain area, and it's like, So yeah, so yeah, that's pretty insane. So
Thanks for having us.
oh, absolutely. Okay, Lala, I'll check my messages. I got a bunch of them, and I'll make sure and check up on the rest of the messages I got tonight. But hopefully, y'all really enjoyed it. It's been a extraordinary night, ladies and gentlemen. So
Very strange night.
yes. But
Don't talk
I
about
know
yourself like that, Mark.
But I know that snow threw some people for a loop because they were watching that video like, what?
Yeah.
Now, that video I just picked out, you can go out there on YouTube and look. There's a bunch of people doing that test.
It looks like a marshmallow that you have, with your s'mores.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, in
care,
California, we do make snow. We water pipes and blow it out middle of the night, and we have snow on our ski slopes in the Sierras.
Well, we got snows or ski slopes in Indiana. It's not too far from here. So they do too, right? So it's not indicative for man to make snow, but for the government to do across America, that's pretty wild. So they're doing something.
They do experiments on dunny paper. What can you expect?
You can't fold it more than 13 times.
Load up that bus.
That's something we really needed to know.
Right.
I'm still
all right,
working on
ladies and
light-
gentlemen.
Oh, you know what? I don't have toilet paper here. It's just paper towel.
Okay, that'll keep you
have
busy for a
lights,
week.
put toilet paper over it, and it mutes it, and you get good lighting. All right.
Vamonos.
Wait a minute here. Y'all
Good
crack
night,
me up.
everyone.
I'm trying
Live
to hit
long
the
and
button.
prosper.
I can't
He's trying to
do
get
that.
rid of us, but it won't work.
I've got a
Oh,
box.
no. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Godspeed. We'll see you on the next show tomorrow night.
Right.
Take care.
Thanks, and
Bye-bye.
I hope you get off
All
that
right.
roof
Good
in
night.
the flood.
Yeah.
Bye, all.
Hey, Scooby-Doo.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not Chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly. Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just gonna sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!